Okay, Jason Moowall, Jam on the Fly. Today I'm going to be doing a part of my extended foam body flies, or my foam fly series. This one here is a neat little fly. It's called my Quick Bee. Quick Bee because it's actually a very easy tie. Most of these are easy ties. They look complicated, but they're very simple. And if you check out how they're tied, you'll see how neat it looks like. I mean, it's the most realistic you could get, I think, to the insect itself and still maintain an easy way to tie, because that's really what I'm looking for. I want somebody to be able to just be able to put these things together and take them out to the creek and fish them, and not spend tons and tons of time. But with a little bit of tying ability, you could knock these babies out and really increase your fly box and patterns. So let me zoom in on this. We'll see exactly what this baby looks like. This is what I call a Quick Bee, and I'm going to get some light on that situation there. And if you look at that, that's the money shot. That's what the fish see. That's the only thing I care about. I don't care about the black threading that I have on the top and stuff like that. I have a nice yellow strike indicator, so that I could see it on top. And again, most of our stitching and our gluing is done on the top because we want the fish to see the money shot, which is that. And that is what it looks like from the fish's point of view. Looks like a bee, which is all that really matters, because they see that bee coming down the creek, they will eat it. So here we go. Let's get started. This is an extended body fly. So you're going to see me use this this pin a lot. And let me show you how this gets tied. Basically, we're going to do the extended body tail. Nice couple wraps. You're going to keep this little piece of length and just pull that over to the side. I'm going to whip finish this right away, right on the pin. Okay, whip finish that. Now we got a nice starting point. That right there is the starting point to this entire fly. Next, we're going to take a piece of a 1/4 inch foam, 1/4 inch wide yellow foam. Okay, pick whatever colors you like, but we want to put a little bit of a taper or a point on that piece of foam, just like that. We're going to also use some embroidery thread, like a little thicker, hairier embroidery thread, and we're going to tie that in as well. So tie in the embroidery thread, let that hang back over our piece. So far all the wraps are right on that tip of the pin. We're going to come in with our foam and we're going to start. So I'm going to come in and leave a little bit of yellow, just like that. 1, 2, 3 wraps or 4. Come underneath, come up. We're going to get another segment. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to come underneath the foam, come up again, and one more section. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now, while holding that, you can see what we got there. I want to show you. Basically a little 3-segmented piece. Now, we need to bolden that black, or the black lines in that. So what I'm going to do is take my embroidery thread, come through 1, 2, 3, and you can look at what that looks like. Still not quite bold enough for me, so I'm going to go another one there, go to the middle, 1, 2, go to the front, 1, 2, and I'm fine with that. Now you can see how bold that looks. Very distinct. That's this fish shot. That's what the fish is going to see, what you're looking at right there. Okay? Again, tie off your embroidery thread. Let's get a whip finish on there. And this thing could be wobbly on there. It's not a big deal, to tell you the truth. It really does not matter. We're going to whip finish that. Pull that snug And we're going to clip off the embroidery thread and pull that right off the thing. That's it. Now what I do is I tie up a bunch of these little extended body tails, and then we're going to take some head cement or whatever you'd like to use, and we're going to glue that. We're going to glue this up so it hardens. So we just set these to the side. Usually do, you know, whatever I'm tying, a half a dozen or a dozen or whatever. Excuse me, I ended up getting a cold, but anyway, set them to the side, and I have one here that's been glued and is hard, and we will start with that to tie the fly. So this is another one that I tied previously and glued, and it's hardened and ready to go. Don't put that on without gluing it. You want these things to last. You want them to hold up. Make sure you don't miss that step. If you keep it loose and you don't put glue on that, it's not going to be long. It's going to shred out in the crack, and you don't want that. However, if you glue it, they last a very, very long time. Okay, we're going to start our thread on the hook, and the hook is just a regular egg nymph scud hook from Eagle Claw, nothing fancy. I like it because it's short, wide gap, and this is a size 12. And we are going to put a nice little thread base down to the back. I like to take my little body and I like to cut it to a little bit of a triangle shape. Something like that. Okay, so we're just cutting that so it's a little bit of a triangle shape. And of course, the money shot. That's the money shot. That goes down. That's what the fish sees. I don't care what I see. I only care about what the fish sees. So we're going to put this to the end, and we're going to just gently make some very loose wraps, and we're going to work this back. I still want to see a little bit of yellow there. And now we could just work our way front, and as we work our way front, we could tighten down on that a little bit. Okay, and basically all I'm doing with this now is just covering all the yellow to make a nice black line. If you think that's hanging down, you want to hike it up, no problem. Put a couple thread wraps behind it and just hike that up. That'll all stay in position for you. Okay? So now you got your extended body. It's like you're just hanging there. And if you look at most of the bees, they have an abdomen that just hangs off of what looks like a piece of fishing line. They're that skinny going into that abdomen. And that's what we're trying to create here as well. Nice little piece of foam. That piece of foam that I used for the extended body was about 1/4 inch. This little piece of foam is about 3/16 wide, and all of it is pretty much by I don't know what it is, 3/32 or something like that. What we're going to do is catch this piece of foam and tie it in on the bottom or underneath. Okay, so we're leaving a little bit of a gap, and we're going to tie this piece of foam in just like that. And we're going to tighten this all down tighter as you go. Again, as you go to the back, you're looser wraps. As you go to the front, you tighten. Okay, that will be folded front then later on. Okay, for now, let's just leave it out of the way. Our next step, we're going to put some wings on this guy. So, what I found probably for the best wings for these quick bees, just take a couple mallard flank. Everybody got mallard flank around. I put them back to back so they kind of fan out. I line them up so the tips are even. Okay, then I just stroke back the feathers and keep the feathers that I want. So I could kind of size these things and just kind of keep the size strands that I want. Okay, so something like that. I'm pretty close there. May pull a couple more fibers back, but that's pretty much the ball game that I'm looking at here. I'm going to tuck them underneath, kind of judge about what length I want. Pinch wrap Again, I have one to each side, and I'm going to lift that, just get rid of the butt ends. Okay, so I have one off to either side, as you can see pretty clearly, and I'll turn the device so you can see that. So basically there's one off to either side. We ain't going to worry about the little bit of loose stuff there. I'm going to tie that completely in to the front. So these wings are nice and fastened. I'm going to pull the near wing towards me. Let's just pull them all front first. Let's do it that way. We'll pull everything front, and we got a couple of wraps behind it to hike them things first up a little bit. Okay, so a couple of wraps like that. Okay, again, they are going to be splayed out, so we're going to do that next simply by figure eighting, and we're going to allow them wings to splay out just like that. Okay, excess, we're going to turn this, and there's just a lot of little stuff I don't need, so I'm just going to get rid of that. That's about the position that I want them. I want them looking like they're splayed out, almost like it's a spent bee trying to get off the water. His wings stuck fast. Wings are just a shadowing effect, so very little material. You don't need a lot there. Okay, the foam is what floats this fly, and the hackle, which we're going to add now. So we're going to take a piece of grizzly yellow and black, just like a bee would be, hackle. Again, I apologize, I ended up having a cold, so I'll be doing a little bit of hacking throughout this video. Okay, again, nice little hackle. We're going to snip that off where that tapers. We're looking for some stiff bristles. Prepare it. Gonna lay it in right on top of the wing, and I'm going to come through and figure eight and tie that right into the center. Again, I figure eighted twice. Now I'm going to stay to the back side, and I'm going to cinch that in. Okay, we're going to cinch that in. Come to the front and tie the rest of that piece down. Next, we're going to take this hackle, and like I said, it's not, this is just to get a little bit of thorax bulk and actually show the little legs, and add some floatability to the fly as well. So we're just going to wrap this hackle like you would any dry fly hackle, work our way to the front, something like that. That would be perfectly fine. A couple wraps in front. We're going to snip off our excess feather just like that, and you can see where we're at now. Now we got our legs in as well. Next step, by leaving that dangle, I'm going to take this piece of foam right here, which is the 3/16 piece of foam. I'm going to pull that tight and put it dead center on the eye, and I'm going to fold back. Then I'm just going to push with my thumb very hard until that starts to penetrate. And then I'm going to help it with my thumbnail so I could dig that eye through. So you see the eye poking through there? Pull back on the foam. We're going to wrap right behind that eye, which of course is going to be our tie back point. And like I said, a very, very simple tie, because we're going to tie that. We're actually just making a thread dam there, okay? Now, the only thing you need to do is come front and make a little hump like that. Then we're going to come right over top of that hump and form our head, okay? And you could form whatever size you want. I'm going to actually make it a hair bigger. There you go, something like that, see? And that's our head. So we're going to come through and lightly wrap. Again, you don't want to put pressure on this, you'll cut the foam. Nice light wrap. And now we come underneath, back onto the shank of the hook right behind the eye. We will whip finish that off, okay? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Just like that. Now, going to snip that off, snip our thread off, and we're going to look at this from the top, and we're going to come in and we're going to cut our piece of foam away. I want that foam cut shy so that you still see the skinny, the little teeny skinny portion of the thread. So when you're looking underneath like this, okay, and you see the money shot, you see that little skinny part right there, which is the area that's probably a key component to what these flies look like. You know, that's kind of like a really good look at what these flies or bees look like, you know, from a fish's perspective. Now these also have a black head, so we're just going to come in with a marker, okay, and we're going to darken the head, okay, and then so if you can see what I did there, I just darkened the head. That's a fish shot. Then the only other thing I do is we're going to take a straight right in the crease like that. So you see that little crease right there that I colored? See the other side's still yellow? And now you come to this side and we do the exact same thing. Beautiful. And that right there is the Quick Bee. Nothing to it, very simple. And I don't know what fish is going to look at this thing coming down the creek and not say it's a bee. So basically, you know, imitating, what is it imitating? A wasp, yellow jacket, whatever. It's a bee. So I don't know that they judge, and fish love bees. That's all I can tell you. They don't let them go down the creek without gobbling them up. So that is the JM Quick Bee. Very neat little pattern. Again, fish is awesome, and can't say enough about it. JM Quick Bee, jam on the fly, and I am out of here.